Welcome to Southern Wreaths. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Today I'm going to make this really different but beautiful country wreath. These are the supplies I used to make this wreath. This was a custom order and they requested girly but country, so I had to figure out how to work that sign in with the pink and purple. I think it all turned out great in the end. I lost the footage of me making my pencil wreath, so I will link here to a video where I show you how I add the pipe cleaners to my wreath frame. I decided to use 21-inch mesh as a base, so I just attached it to the frame with the zip tie, and then I just go around making 12-inch poofs. Once I get done with the outside, I pull the mesh up to the closest pipe cleaner in the center and twist it once, and I'm only twisting once on all of them. And then I'll continue to go around in the center making 12-inch poofs. And then once I get back to the first pipe cleaner, I'll open that and add my mesh in, and this just makes a perfect circle. And you can make any poof wreath this way if you'd like. And then once I'm done with that, normally I would trim away any excess mesh, but since this was the end of the roll, I'm just going to push it through to the back, and I'll attach it with a zip tie. And the way I'm attaching it is the exact same way I attached it at the beginning. And you just feed the the zip tie under the wire frame around one of the bars, and then wrap that around the mesh, and then just pull it tight. And then you'll just trim that away. I use wire cutters to trim away the zip ties normally, but my scissors were the only thing that I had next to me, so use what you got with you. Okay, and that's what it looks like when it's all done. So I really wanted to use this this metallic pink, but I didn't have a lot of it, so you'll see I supplement with some lighter pink in a little bit. But I'm just going to double up with this really pretty purple. You can't really tell, but the stripes in the purple are hot pink. It's really beautiful. And I'm going to cut my mesh at 24 inches. I go back and I change the length of the pink mesh since I didn't have as much, because I just wanted pops of pink in this wreath. And I end up cutting those in half, so I do 12 inches of all of the pink. And no, it doesn't make a full ruffle, but you can't really tell when the wreath is done because I'll already have a ruffle in there. And I'll show you when I put it all together. I just wanted to have enough to put 14 pieces of purple and then 14 pieces of pink. But like I said, I did 12 inches of the pink. And this is the lighter pink that I'm going to use. Right, I'm going to show you how to make a full ruffle, which is, just normally the way you make ruffles. I just like to put something heavy at the end, and then I kind of fold under the beginning just to keep the fraying down. And then I'll open up my pipe cleaner and just get it as centered as possible and twist once. And now I'm just going to add a pink on top. And it's only a 12-inch piece, but like I said, once it's all done, you can't really tell that it's such a small piece because I have a full ruffle under it. I wouldn't suggest doing this without having something underneath it. And for the light pink, I put that on the bottom just because I just needed something to fill it in. And this pink mesh came from Michael, so it's super soft and flimsy. I like mesh that's a little more sturdy. But I did like the pop of pink that it brought. Right, and I'm only twisting once because I'm still going to add ribbons. And I'll do this going all the way around the wreath. And here I'll just show you quickly how I do the outside. I'm actually holding the mesh in my mouth. You don't have to do that. You can use a clip or stick it in the wreath or use your bow dabber if you have a bow dabber. I was just trying to get through it, but that's what it looks like when it's done. You can tell it's not a huge difference with the smaller amount of pink mesh. That mesh is so pretty, it goes really far. So to cut my ribbon, I like to use a piece of cardboard that's cut slightly less than 12 inches. And then I'll just wrap it around as many times as I need it. I'm using several different kinds of, or colors of ribbon this time, so every ribbon has a different amount that I needed. But you can go through and figure all that out before you start. Once I'm done cutting my ribbon, I like to dovetail the ends, and I do that by folding it hot dog way and cutting from the wire towards the crease at an angle. And I'll do this with all of the ribbon. It's not necessary, I just think it looks nice. Alright, these are all the different ribbons I'm using. And before I start, I'll go through and stack the ribbon in different piles just to get an idea of which colors I want together. With this particular wreath, I didn't want any kind of rhyme or reason. I wanted them all to be slightly different. I did my best to separate what colors were on top of each other. It wasn't a huge deal if it, did get mixed up, but I just wanted it to be a little more spread out. I didn't want too much purple together or dark purple together. And then to add it to my wreath, I fold it in half and find the center, crease it, and then when I open it, I pinch at the crease, and then I'll stick it on top of my pipe cleaner, and now I'll twist 3 times. And then I'll use a glue stick to roll down my pipe cleaners. I just like the way this looks. And then I'll just fluff my ribbon. I usually do an X with 2 of the ribbons and then do 1 ribbon that's going straight across. And I just kind of arrange it as I go. I like to start in the center because I tend to lay my arm across my wreath. And when I do the outside first, I mess it up when I lay my arm down. If you see, my hands are kind of laying on the wreath. I don't know why I do that, but it's just the way I make them. So I just learned to do the center first. But that's not necessary. You can do it in any order that you want. And then to do the outside, I do the exact same thing. Just fold it in half, crease it in the center, pinch it, and then stick it in there. And then you'll fluff the same. You'll do the X and then the straight across. This is what it looks like after all of the ribbons added. And now I'm just going to add my sign. I like to use staples and pipe cleaners, especially with the wooden sign. And sometimes I'll cut the rope off, but sometimes when it's a nicer sign like this, I'll leave it on, because in the future, if the person who has the wreath decides they want to keep the sign, but the wreath's, older, they can just take it off and they have a perfectly good sign. And then to attach it, I feed it through to the back. And I like to feed it in between the 2 meshes if I'm doing it at the bottom. Or you can put it wherever you like, but I like to attach it to 1 bar instead of 2. I feel like it gets a tighter grip on it. But you could go around the whole wreath, frame if you want to. And then I just twist it 3 or 4 times. And I'll go back at the end and make sure everything's tight and the pipe cleaners are tucked in. You don't want to scratch anyone's door with the pipe cleaner. But that's it. That's how I made my pink country wreath. Or I guess purple and pink country wreath. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Or you can always email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. Thank you so much for watching. And if y'all learned anything today or liked my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.